Let's talk about a scenario that should keep every executive up at night. What happens if your entire company gets compromised because of one single hidden vulnerability? Today, we're going to break down 15 absolutely critical principles for enterprise AI, and we're going to do it through a high-stakes crisis scenario that shows why getting your AI strategy right, well, it's a matter of corporate survival. Okay, imagine you're a CEO, and this text message pops up on your phone. For one Fortune 100 leader, this was the real deal, and it was the start of the absolute worst crisis in her company's history. So we're going to follow the story of Cynthia Robinson. She's the new CEO of a company called Resilient Inc. And this is how a completely hidden threat, lurking in her digital supply chain, put her entire global enterprise on the brink. The update from her CISO was frankly a nightmare. The breach wasn't just a small leak, it was systemic. A Trojan horse had been planted in their core office software, and from there, it spread like a virus through their entire digital supply chain. We're not just talking about stolen data here. A hostile, state-sponsored actor basically had the keys to the kingdom, with the power to shut down their global operations or hold them for a crippling ransom. So the big question is, how on earth could something this catastrophic happen? As they dug in, they found out the root cause wasn't just a single piece of faulty tech. No, it was much deeper. It was a fundamental flaw in their entire philosophy and architecture.
You can just feel the tension in the emergency board meeting, can't you? The chairman hit the nail on the head. This question revealed a massive strategic vulnerability. See, they become totally dependent on a single vendor's ecosystem. Based on advice that completely overlooked this kind of systemic risk, they were in a trap.
And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. It's a tale of two approaches. Resilient, and honestly, a lot of companies were using the old approach. They treated things like governance and security as afterthoughts. Stuff you bolt on later. They were constantly reacting to problems instead of building a system to prevent them. And that left them wide open.
So what's the alternative? A truly resilient AI strategy has to have these 4 principles baked into its DNA from day one. Think about it. Governance, data quality, security, and integrity. These aren't just features on a checklist. They're the non-negotiable foundation of the entire structure.
Now, in the middle of this chaos, Cynthia's team made a fascinating discovery. They found the one system that did manage to spot the anomaly, and it was built on a completely different philosophy.
This brings us to principle number 5. You have to adopt a holistic architecture. And Aristotle, of all people, nailed it thousands of years ago. A powerful enterprise AI isn't just a bunch of separate tools cobbled together. It's a single, interactive system where the whole is so much more powerful than the sum of its parts.
The system they found is called the KOS, from KYield. Now, what makes it different is that it's a distributed AI operating system. It's designed to see the entire enterprise at once. It's not stuck in silos. And because of that, it can spot weird patterns and anomalies that all the other isolated systems would completely miss, which, by the way, is exactly how they finally caught the breach.
Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. This framework is all about action. It's about earning trust with transparency. It's about empowering your people with what they call precision augmentation, giving them AI tools that actually make them better at their specific jobs. And it's about focusing on Principle 8, maximizing the yield on every single asset you have. And, this is a big one, Principle 9, turbocharging prevention. Because preventing a crisis has the highest possible ROI. Period.
All right, let's zoom out for a second, because this leads us to the real strategic imperative here. Choosing your AI architecture. Look, this isn't just some IT decision about efficiency. This is a board-level C-suite decision about the survival of your company.
Need proof? Let's put a number on it. $65 billion. That was the estimated cost of the Deepwater Horizon crisis for BP. And here's the kicker. It was preventable. The warning signs were there, but they were buried in bureaucracy and siloed systems. That's exactly the kind of failure a holistic AI operating system is designed to prevent. And it's not just about the money. The stakes are truly existential. If you fail to get a handle on this new era of AI, you risk your entire organization's future. As we've been warned, companies that fall behind on these major tech shifts, well, they can get swept off the historical stage overnight.
This chart says it all, really. The gap between the AI leaders and the laggards is getting wider, and it's happening fast. But here's the crucial insight. You can't just buy some off-the-shelf AI from a big tech vendor and call yourself a leader. That just makes you an adopter. It puts you in the middle of the pack. The real leaders are building a unique exponential advantage.
So how do you actually build that advantage? Well, you use a principled approach. You build an architecture that's ready for the future and can scale. You use AI to help your people learn and make better decisions continuously. And this is a game changer. You incentivize accuracy by rewarding what KYield calls knowledge capital. That's the measurable value of an individual's expertise. That's how you attract and keep the best talent in the age of AI.
So we've talked about the principles, the system, the risks, but what's the end goal here? Where does all of this actually lead? It all comes down to this, Principle 15, continuously adapt. The end goal isn't some static destination. It's about building a dynamic capability. The world is accelerating, and the ability to adapt isn't a luxury anymore. It's a basic requirement for survival. Charles Darwin wasn't talking about business, but he might as well have been.
And when you achieve this, you create what KYield calls a CALO, a continuously adaptive learning organization. This is an enterprise that's in a constant learning loop. It's powered by an AI OS that connects everyone and everything, turning insights into action almost instantly. This is the blueprint for the successful enterprise of the future.
So this leaves every single leader out there with a fundamental question to answer. As you bring AI into your organization, are you just bolting on more tech, adding layers of complexity and unseen risk? Or are you taking this opportunity to fundamentally redesign your organization, to build a principled, enterprise-wide architecture that is truly built to win?